I don't suppose anyone has a recap, do they?
I have something. I just don't think I wrote down the very last of it. Okay, so our grand adventuring party arrives at the town of Ilex, I think, at midnight. It's a seaside town with thick fog rolling in as we head to the Plumber's Kraken, a deserted, as far as we can tell, tavern. We peek inside the windows. The tables appear to be set as though the patrons just left, midway through their dinner. We hear a rumble from the back. We go to investigate quietly and find a group of people adding holly branches to the pyre of an accused witch. She is protesting her innocence, but the townsfolk seem to think she is behind the disappearance of several children. The party goes into distract and rescue mode. The fighter distracts, and Shade releases the woman and escapes with her. Shade and the woman escape. The rest of the group meet up as the woman dissipates, and they see the ocean frozen in jagged spears of ice, including a massive spire of ice. That is where I left off.
I think that's where we left off.
You think so?
That sounds right. Yeah, cool.
Just making sure.
Also, I had forgotten the Plumber's Kraken. Best tavern name ever.
Well, I wrote it down specifically because I'm stealing it. I think it's hilarious.
I was listening to the playthrough yesterday, and I did chuckle at that bit.
That's funny. I was listening back to just like get a vibe of the, and I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't that, but I was dying laughing at something. It was pretty funny.
I'm just saying that the Plumber's Kraken is a franchise, and it's going to be showing up in my games. That's all I'm saying.
All seaside towns have a Plumber's Kraken. Do I get a percentage of the proceeds?
Yes, of all the money I make from DMing, you will get a cut, sir.
The Plumber's Kraken. Yep. Trademarked. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, so the three of you, Checkers is not here yet, are standing on a beach. And as our lovely recap said, a ghostly figure had basically, it's almost like she walked backwards into the sea, parting the fog, the thick fog, and displaying showing basically a path. It looks like it's kind of hard to tell, but you're like, that's, half a mile out there. Whatever. Yeah. And it's the fog itself is colder. You can see in the moonlight, the moonlight is capturing and bouncing off of what looks to be like solid ice, like the sea is a frozen wasteland at this point, and you can feel the cold, which makes you guys feel, adds to that vibe of like, I didn't know if an ocean could freeze. It's interesting. Yeah, and so you sit on the beach. What would you guys like to do?
Build sandcastle.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting that.
Okay, so the innocent, we assumed, woman that we rescued from being bruised a witch just froze the ocean and is leaving. Is that correct? Do I have the measure of things?
If that's what your character believes, sure. I'm not going to say that that's the truth.
Was it a forest or woods? Was the tree area behind us, is that still on fire, or is that sort of died down? Because we did light at least one fire.
Yeah, you can. I think you're probably. You can see the smoke a little bit hazily in the moonlight. because if I remember right, it was a mostly full moon. You can probably see a little bit of light. You're probably at least a half mile from there. I'm not sure you can hear any of the people, but as far as them not showing up and being on the beach, because specifically you, fighter, they probably would not be super happy or they would be very happy to see you again, but it probably would not be to your benefit.
But can't imagine why.
Yeah, I have no idea. Had they known the fox was also an arsonist and created the forest fire.
I thought they were going to assume it was me. Shit.
They probably do, actually. Strangely, that
I have a question. Do they even know that I exist? Because I spent most of my time there just sitting in the shadows.
Oh, I don't think anyone saw him.
Nope. Yeah, you hid your mask well. I think you had ideas of making yourself known, but it just never happened. And your stealth, you're true to your name.
Shade actually seen by anyone?
I think people would have seen Shade. Yeah.
Yeah, because Shade made kind of a little speech on stage.
I know you made a scene, but did they see you escape with the woman?
Oh well, I don't know.
I think at least the people, the two dudes that were helping light the fire, because when you broke her ties, her ropes, she showed her hands, specifically because you rolled, I think it was a 5 or something, partial. So they were made aware that you were. The witch was free. Now, whether in the dark they knew it was you or not, it's hard to say. Either know. Here's what they would definitely know. They would definitely know the fighter. They would definitely know that something happened, and the witch, the Holly Witch, has escaped. I don't even think the rubes of a small fishing village couldn't put together that maybe the fighter had some help.
Huh.
Maybe. I mean, if you guys want, you could head back to town and see if they've already put up wanted posters.
No. As the fighter, I'd probably just sort of look from the fire to the frozen lake, just make eye contact with the team. Just you've made a mistake.
I'm sorry. Maybe I just am misinterpreting. You said it was the ocean, yes, that she froze, and she's walking on top of the frozen ocean and parting the fog. Yeah.
Yeah. Shade would definitely recognize the pale, ghostly woman. Did not look like the witch in either female or male form. If that helps you.
Do we know what did the figure look like?
Ghostly, almost translucent older woman, kind of hag-like. So I can see where you might be thinking, is this just a coven of witches that is doing this? A reasonable thought, but I don't want to lead you. I'm not trying to lead you astray and say that was the woman or that wasn't the woman or what exactly is going on, because you wouldn't be able to know.
Okay, no, that makes sense. That's fair. I don't know about the rest of you, but I am very curious as to where this ghostly figure is headed through the fog.
Yes, so am I.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, is the big tower visible out there, or is it just in the distance?
Yeah, so you can see it in the distance. You're that thing's got to be huge. Either it's an optical illusion of how far it is and how big it is, or it's massive. As far as you can tell, just from where you guys are, The sea, or at least this would be some sort of bay, is completely frozen. You don't hear moving water, and you don't see moving water. So that the fox's sandcastle is going to live for a legendary amount of time, possibly.
I may not be the greatest hero in the world, but I will be the greatest sandcastle builder in the world.
And you guys hear this voice calling from it sounds like it's calling from the ocean, from out into the sea. I'm not exactly sure what they're saying, but you hear, it's like you can't, it doesn't sound like immediate distress, but it sounds like it might be someone calling out for help out into the sea.
Okay. Hark, fellow allies, someone calls for aid, and then Fox goes rushing towards the sound of help.
I want to say just before, I will grab him by the collar. Because I saw this coming. Fighter will grab him by the collar. Not like just walk with him, just with my sword, just check the thickness of the ice. See if it's going to, crack immediately.
Yeah, and so you grab him by the collar. I figure the fox is probably not struggling too much because you are his hero.
He would try to struggle a bit because he does want to help this person, but he's nowhere near as strong as the fighter is.
Right, cool. But the two of you kind of saddle up to the edge of, where what would normally be, like the ocean rolling in, and it's just solid ice. The fighter, you take your sword and tap, tap, tap. It is rock solid. It's frozen in like really almost sharp, jagged, tufts of ice. So it's a little bit, it's rocky. Parts of it would probably be smooth and slippery, and if you fell, you might get stabbed by some of these shards. But it's not overly slippery because there are so many bumps. Imagine the sea freezing. It would be, and you can immediately note I'm not sure if you've ever seen a frozen sea. It'd be pretty hard to freeze the ocean. Yeah. But in this case, it seems unnatural. The jaggedness seems unnatural to you because nothing would freeze that quickly to create that. If it froze, it'd probably be smooth. But this is not.
Okay, so it seems sort of safe to walk on.
Yeah, if you tap around, maybe you stick a foot on there, tap around. It seems legit solid, going nowhere.
Oh, then I'll carry on pushing the fox onto it and
cool.
Just kind of push him out a few feet.
Cool. What do you want to do, Fox?
Okay, now he's let me go. Do I still hear the cries for help?
Yeah.
I start running towards the cries for help.
Running?
Yes, running.
Okay. Cool. You are running. If you're literally gonna run, we're gonna roll for it. Roll me something. What do you got that would help you run on ice?
I don't think he really has anything that would help him run on ice.
Nope.
For 1d6?
Yep.
Come on.
Oh. With a 1, let's see.
Dang.
Yeah, you slip and fall, and you're like, what are you wearing? like, I don't think it cracks your face or your mask, but it's definitely you take 2 damage because like you slip and fall, and you're just like, this is like razors, and you're just cut up and bleeding now. So there's a little blood on there. It's good.
He's supposed to have. I rolled it somewhere.
Do you have armor? I don't remember.
I do have 1 arm for Allusive.
Oh, cool. Then it's only 1. You take 1 damage. No big.
Okay, so now that he's fallen and hurt himself, he's gonna like slowly creep his way across the ice.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Shade Fighter, are you following him, or are you waiting to see how this turns out?
I've just seen how it turned out. Is there anything? Would I have anything on me, or is there anything nearby that's kind of quite solid and relatively spiky? I'm trying to make. I can't think the name for them, but the sort of spiky shoe covers you'd wear on ice.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there would.
I don't know
What was that, Yulia?
I'm sorry. I don't know if those count as cleats, but that might be the word.
I believe they're called crampons. At least
Crampons.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do you have crampons?
No, but I'm trying to see if I can. Well, I doubt it. But I'm just trying to see if I can, fabric cobble something together.
I have crampons in my adventurer's kit.
Ooh, you totally could. Fighter, I would suggest
you use them.
What's that, Fox?
Now I'm talking to myself.
Okay, cool. So, Fighter, I would suggest you might be able to make there's a metric shit ton of sand that you're standing on. Sand is a lovely deterrent to slipping.
True.
I would also suggest you could ask. Shade might know of some. There might be some plant or algae or some sort of ilk that she could come up with that maybe you could tie her on shoes. But if you've got some sort of vessel, you could certainly grab some sand and use the sand if you'd like.
I have expert survivalist, so if you want me to roll for it, I certainly could try it and help out.
I would suggest maybe this is more of like, can you imagine something better than sand? Is there something in a normal oceanic beach kind of thing that you would use in such a thing?
I mean, personally, my idea was Shade can use her claws as crampons, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And
you mean like take off your boots, kind of use your claws?
If I can get away, I imagine as a cat person, and this isn't, I'm not going to push too hard on this because I am just saying it now, but I imagine that her shoes would allow her to extend her claws without actually taking off her shoes. I've sketched this out before.
Naruto shoes.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of shoes would that be? Explain your shoes to me. Sandal-like?
Actually, let me, because he just said Naruto shoes, and that's actually a pretty good illustration.
Yeah, cool. So, let's see it. I'm totally willing to give you that. Like, even if you have to take off your shoes to walk on this, it would be fine. It's also not stupidly slick, but like, hey man, like if I had a bucket and some sand, I would probably take some. Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I would give you that. Yeah. You have claws.
No, I was going to say. Yeah, so Shade could kind of tie an end of rope around herself or around her waist or something, and then pull, kind of pull behind her. Yeah.
Cool. Absolutely. And you guys don't need to roll for that. If you're being cautious, I think this plan totally works. without.
Yeah,
problem.
I think we saw what happened when somebody was cautious. So caution is good.
Hold on one sec. Yeah. Pending. Oh, sip song. Cool. So, the fox, you are the first to see this. You roll into where you're hearing the voice, and I imagine he will still be calling. You can tell it's a man's voice. It looks like not a fairly small boat that has been like flash frozen into the sea, maybe coming into the last second. The boat looks a little bit creaky and crushed, and there appears to be, let's say, a fairly handsome, rugged person sitting in the boat, crying out to you guys. I'm not exactly sure what he is saying. Checkers, what are you saying?
He'll be saying, what is he going to say? Let me think. Okay, it's a boat, right? So I think you actually see him like struggling with a knot because right now his feet are stuck to the boat because of a rope. So he'll be saying, this gosh darn knot is stuck around my foot and I can't get it loose. And then he pauses for a minute and he pauses for a minute as he says that. He says, and unfortunately, no matter how strong I am, I cannot figure this out.
I'm sorry. I just for the record, do his muscles glisten in the sun, and
Yes.
are his raven locks as shiny as fresh ink? That's all I need to know to put it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Not to mention the mustache. Let's not
the
forget
mustache.
that glorious mustache.
Yeah.
You do
We
see him
can't-
pause to scratch the mustache, and he says, "At least my mustache is fine."
Mm-hmm.
Take a few moments to admire this beautiful man in front of me. Truly, the pinnacle of human creation. God's finest creation on earth. As I say, before I snap out and say, fellow adventurer, do you need help?
He looks over, says, and he looks back at the knot that's stuck. Yes.
All right, I'm going to hop onto the boat.
Oh, cool. And you do so. It barely moves. It is like super solid, just caught in the frozen ocean. It moves not at all. There's probably some water. Checkers, are your feet? Are they frozen into the? Because your boat probably was crushed a little bit with the quick freezing. It probably took on some water and then froze. You're tied in it somehow, or are you?
Yes.
What did the water freeze in and around it? Is it like a frozen knot or something? What is it?
I think it's like a frozen knot. Like originally he was trying to just, shift the knots out, but, just to move things around. But inevitably, when the water froze, the knots froze around it, and like his feet are stuck.
Yeah. And you've been out here for a while, so you're fucking cold.
Yeah, Checker will say, I was traveling to get to a nearby town on a pilgrimage, but it seems like all of a sudden the ocean freezes. Also, then he points, was there a fire earlier, or am I going crazy?
Yes, there was a fire. Some ruffians in the forest have been trying to burn it down.
Evildoers. Well, and he looks at you, Fox, and he says, if you help me get out, I can introduce myself, and if there's one thing I stand for, it is justice. And you see him flex one of his right muscles, and kindness. So if there's anything, I'm a man of God. Though, if we find those ruffians, I will make sure personally to make them eat their words.
Fox nods his head, and he's going to pull out his dagger and try and cut him free of the knots.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, with a little work, you totally do so. And while you're doing that, the fighter and Shade show up. and bask in the glory that is Checkers, who is probably like, would Checkers be doing like trying to get his best, the best side of his face fully illuminated by the moon? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You see him like kind of stand and pose.
He's annoyed right now because he can't fully stand up because he's tied down, and like he knows he's not presenting his best face, so he's trying to make up with it by using the moon. I like.
But is he still flexing?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's in a permaflex, right?
You see him like keep flexing his right arm muscle, right bicep, and then his left bicep, and he's gonna keep doing that until someone stops him. He will say thank you, Fox, though.
And who would stop him? So, question for Checkers, actually for you, McMuffin. Was Checkers alone in this boat when he came? Or did he have... It was just him? He didn't have like a follower or a lackey?
No, he came by himself.
Okay.
He's not the brightest person, I'll say. He probably should have came with someone. In fact, I know what he'll say. As like he's getting help to get out, he will say, I was tasked on a pilgrimage to do kind duties across the country. But I was told to take some lackeys, but I don't need help. Doing good is not... When you do good by yourself.
You do good by yourself. Words to
live by, I think.
Certainly words to live by.
On a scale of 1 to 5, what does each PC, how inspired are they by this speech?
Very inspired.
I don't know. Let me roll. Hold on. Is there...
Okay, 1 to 6.
Shade having a oh no he's hot moment.
Oh no, he's hot.
Is there a charisma? Is there a charisma or anything roll that goes into this on your end?
Oh, there could be.
Checkers. I'll just roll a D. I'll just roll a D6. Oh, I got a 6.
Shade thinks you're hot.
I'm very inspired right now. You don't want to ask too many questions about what I'm inspired to do, though.
You were definitely, oh no, he's hot. 100% out of 6. Fighter, are you impressed at all?
I just dead eyes at everyone. I am so unamused, it's not great. Just, like you say, Fighter's been about a bit and he's seen these people, he just is not amused by the over-the-top, flexing poses, really.
Yeah, is Checkers like rolling up the excess rope while flexing, using the rope to kind of...
Oh, just pretending it's really difficult.
Oh yeah, he'll like be pretending. And then he'll probably like slip actually, trying to do that. And like probably bust his head or something. But
I can tell we're gonna get a lot of mileage out of this.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But Checkers will, once like he stopped flexing and whatnot, he will clear his throat and says, I'm thankful for your help. My name is Checkers. I am a paladin from a far off place. Don't worry about it. I'm here to do good. And I did hear that there were some, how do you put it, issues arriving? I was told to do good, so I heard there was a witch or something, for all I know. A.k.a. evil.
And everybody else looks at you dumbfounded. Like
we're struck by your beauty.
Fighter has now just changed to he's just face palming, just head in his hands.
Literally face palming.
Just a gasp at what he's got to deal with.
He raises his hand, Checkers. I know. The fight against evil is one that always gets anyone shook. Commoners alike. I understand. If you cannot put me in the right town, I can go on my own.
The witch had actually escaped from the town. We have been following her. We believe she's headed down this ice path. She was the one who froze the ocean.
I see. So that means evil's down this pathway.
Fighter will. Sorry, I was going to say Fighter will walk past Fox, like just lightly cuff him on the back of the head, and say, "You should have pointed him to the fire," and then walk towards where the witch was. just I want to play on this. So unamused. I'm loving it. Fighter does not.
Right. Fox, were you pointing towards the tower? I missed that part. Okay, cool. Yeah.
No.
He's like, big, evil, scary tower right there that has, looks like that's where the fog is coming from, possibly. Yeah. That thing? Yeah. Cool.
I mean, yeah, I'm down. Let's do this. I mean,
does the party see checkers as a addition to this? I mean,
No, he seems like he'd be very, very useful to have around, just for, reasons.
Yeah. Shade is like
Reason.
Shade is totally. Oh no, he's hot.
Yeah, no, Shade rolled a 6 on that, so she's just like, yeah, no, he's part of the party, right, guys? We're taking him with us.
The more the merrier.
Fox is a fellow do-gooder. Fox is excited. An ally of justice.
That is what I fight for. An ally of justice, a man for good. I'm a paladin by trade and have always been one. Though
I'm not gonna
I haven't. Though he will say, I've been told I'm not the most brightest person. There's a reason why I don't use magic, but I can heal. I'm kind of good at that. Extract. I am very good at that. Don't worry. When I finally learn magic, and he pauses a minute, and don't blow someone up, I think we'll be okay.
It's going to be interesting because paladins, or at least paladin player characters, kind of have a reputation for being humorless and terrible to play with. So having a paladin played by McMuffin, this is going to be interesting. I look forward to it quite a lot.
That's why I said I'm playing the lawfully stupid character to the point where he's like,
I love it.
Like, there's a difference between being cringe lawful, like stupid, or lawful good, and then being like unironically, just embracing that full I fight for justice, nothing stopping me to an extent.
Yep.
Like, he's not gonna like kill himself or maybe.
I am not being sarcastic. I think it's going to be very entertaining, and I look forward to it. But yeah, okay. So we are headed to the tower, I would assume.
Yeah.
Fighter?
Oh, as I said, I've wandered off. I'm just a couple of minutes away. I'm not like strutting away. I'm just slowly walking away. Just they will catch up.
Which way did you walk?
Towards the tower, I believe we were heading.
Yeah, cool.
Question mark?
Okay.
The correct way, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
I have another quick question about Checkers.
Mm-hmm.
Does he hero pose when he monologues?
Oh yeah, you see him pose with his hands on his hips.
Oh, amazing.
Doing the hip flex, like the pull in kind of thing.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Thumbs. Yep, got it. Is he wearing a shirt? Is the question.
Oh, he has light armor. I was going to give him heavy armor, but I didn't have enough silver, so I'm unhappy about that. But don't worry.
I saw your roll. He's broke.
Yeah, he's broke. He has no money.
Oh, I did want to ask, really fast, Brian. Is there a downside to getting heavier armor? Like, is there a penalty?
Yes.
It is if you want to be stealthy. Yeah, so you can't be stealthy with heavy.
Or swim.
I figured. Well, yeah, swimming, obviously, but okay. Just wanted to make
Stealth
sure.
time.
What's that?
Someone say stealth. Fox
Yeah.
is always being stealthy. So roll for that.
No. Talking about armor. because you're wearing light armor. No, you're elusive, so you do have natural armor from being elusive.
Ooh.
So you don't need that. That definitely helps. Allusive is perfect for stealthy folk because you can. You don't need to wear armor because even light armor would probably have negative impact in certain circumstances. But that's totally cool. Fighter, you are you left the group behind and are walking towards. You hear a little thing, and you see some, just like a little ways up on the left. And you see something moving and making noise, and just like a low rumbling growl out in the fog in the darkness.
Okay. So I said I'm not walking too quickly. I've kind of tried to keep them in earshot. How? What were they chatting away? 2, 3. How far do you reckon I've got?
Like 100 feet or so. Maybe 150.
Okay. I will stop, sword out, as is my wont. I'll just observe for a moment, see what happens. I was waiting for them to catch up so I can sort of, direct them to what I've heard without being too obvious.
Yeah. So it's a little unclear because it's so we're now talking about like there's a essentially a pathway. The fog has been split, and so there's like this direct line of sight to the tower, just off the beaten path. That if we're calling that a path, there in the fog there is. It sounds more like animals. It sounds like it could be dogs or something growling, and maybe a little bit of clippity clop. Hooves, possibly.
Ooh.
Ready, set, it's bedtime. Tomorrow night we go through. I'm a Kindle. Are you?
Okay, yeah, I'd still just wait for the others to sort of get there.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of keeping, you're kind of like, just like keeping an eye on the situation.
Yeah.
Does the
You said it was kind of night.
Yep.
When we got to the town. Has it started to lighten up yet, or is it still dark?
It's still dark.
Okay. Would I have torch on me or something like a source of light that I could use?
You tell me.
Ooh, right.
Did you pick up some torches?
I mean, I had a lantern, but I dropped it.
In an arsonistic way. Yes, you did.
I didn't know. I just dropped it. It's weird. I'm not sure. I don't actually know what equipment I'd have.
I mean, I remember when your fellow arsonist was lighting the brush on fire. He had a makeshift. You guys had like flint and steel or whatever.
Yeah, like a little fire starter. I don't know if I'd have anything.
Yeah, but I don't. I recall you neither of you having necessarily a torch.
But I have a torch in my adventurer's gear because I thought we established I could have one, but I decided to make one.
You could. I mean, I'm totally cool with you guys both having a torch because, like, torches are probably something that you would want to have with you. It's probably more likely that you would have something to start a fire and grab makeshift a torch because, like, why carry a huge torch around with you?
That makes sense.
Okay,
but
so
I could go either way. You guys convinced me one way or the other. Last time you you started a fire with a makeshift torch.
I used a lantern, didn't I? Myself.
You used a lantern back at the place. It wasn't your lantern. I think you grabbed it off the table.
It was part of the thing.
Yeah. Oil lamps are definitely something you could buy. Shade for sure.
How much would they be?
Especially, There's got to be something in our rules that's close, right? Like, I mean, probably more expensive than a torch. Let's say that.
Well, but it makes more sense. I mean, you don't. If you look historically, people don't burn torches inside for obvious reasons, but lanterns and lanterns are very useful.
Say an oil lamp, you'd probably have in like your bed kit, your camp stuff.
I'm totally cool if you guys want to have it. Yeah. We had just set a precedent that you didn't have one previously, but maybe that's because you were trying not to waste your land. You may have tossed your lantern. That might be true. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. However you guys want to do it, talk me into it.
Okay, no, I'm happy with what you said. I would just like grab a bit of wood and make do, but I've got this fire kit, so no torch right now.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So, okay, I'll just keep my eyes on what's happening. Wait for them to appear and whatever they want to do.
I mean, you could. There's a mostly destroyed boat that you could certainly go back and grab some wood from if you want to. It's probably a very handsome boat.
Handsome boat.
But you guys do whatever you want.
Okay, sorry. That was a good point. As we're not that far away, I would like to go back to the boat and procure a piece of wood.
Yep. Fox, Shade, Checkers, are you guys just like hanging out, shooting the shit? Like, what are you guys doing?
Watching the fighter intently, trying to figure out what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. And now he's walking back towards you. You can see him.
My head, like,
just curious.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would just be taking a look around, see what I can see of the land around us.
Cool. Checkers, or you just?
I guess not the land around us.
Is Checkers mourning his boat, or you don't? You probably don't even notice it.
Checkers just looks at his boat and says, I can always get another one. And instead he's just going to ask, which way did the witch go? One track mind.
Points towards the tower.
Oh, he learned and now he's pointing to the tower.
As the fox is pointing to the tower, the fighter walks right by him, walks over to your boat, Checkers, and just like rips off a hunk of it.
Well, what are you going to do with that piece of wood, friend?
He's sort of just already lighting it.
I see.
I need to roll to actually make this thing, or are you just happy I can do it?
No, I'm pretty sure you can find some sort of piece of cloth. Maybe you even like, I don't know if there was a sail. This is probably a rowboat or something. Who knows? But any scrap of cloth or something, tie it around, and you're sitting there, trying to light it. Mm-hmm. As Checkers asks you that, you're trying to light it.
Yep, well, as soon as I light it, I just kind of, acknowledge him, gesture that we could do more, and then just kind of stand aside, see if he can think ahead to make his own.
Checkers kind of just looks you over, Fighter. Is your character's name Fighter, or is it name, or have you like given your name yet? I feel like we haven't given names yet to each other, but
yeah, I'm just Fighter.
Yeah. Checkers will look over you and say, and give the witnesses, what's with the torch? Because it's not clicking with him.
I just lean in and really patronizingly, sky dark, torch light, kind of just wave it gently in front of his eyes.
Light, torch, fire, good. He'll repeat that. He'll say then it says, "You sound like one of those orcs I fought a long time ago." Didn't do much talking. Anyhow, fair point.
They were kind of stupid. That's
Shake
okay.
my head at him.
They were dumb people anyway. That's what I'm hearing. They're not.
Does Checkers look up and see like that it literally is dark, and maybe think about grabbing his own piece of bone?
Yeah, he will. He will. He'll actually grab a piece of bone. He will note and say, "It might not have been the smartest idea to go out in the sea in the middle of dark with no light source." Well, what's the worst that could happen? And he's gonna grab a piece of wood and light it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst that could happen, says McMuffin for the 1,000th time since we've started playing together.
I tempt fate. Tempt fate every day. Every day I just choose violence.
Fighter, you do not mention the noises that you witnessed.
That's the point. I would probably, if anything, I would mention it to Shade.
Mm-hmm.
And then sort of point over in the direction.
Like quietly, hey, there's something up there.
Not quietly, just I know this is the one person that will listen. I assume Fox will be nearby and here, and Checkers is present.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I'm aiming for high IQ first, and we'll work from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is kind of a side path that you saw and have heard noises, like animalistic noises beyond.
Brian, would you say it was a side path, or it was just to one side?
Just to one side, just off.
So you said it was sort of to the left, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Shade will go ahead. She is perceptive, so is there anything that she can perceive just from the main area they're standing on right now?
I think you're a little far from it, but not. You might be able to hear like, yeah, maybe at one point there's like
she could walk closer. Certainly, no, she could walk closer.
Yeah, so when he says this to you, right, like he's holding a torch and he's like pointing up and to the left, like in just off that, into that fog. And like if you start like walking slowly towards it, I'm going to say, yeah, at some point all of you probably hear what sounds like a wolf howling.
Oh, puppy.
Checkers will say, is it like howling or is it like whining?
Howling, as in,
okay.
Yeah, like the pack, and with that one howl, then yeah, a number of other howls. It's hard to determine how many there are, but also howl, and they're very close. They're loud.
I say on that cue, I'd have thought. I am fully aware that wolves will try and surround prey. Mm-hmm. Fighter understand that?
I mean, I would think a fighter would probably understand that only because, like, who better to learn tactics from than the wolf?
I would like to quickly scan the area around us to see if I'm aware if we're being surrounded or if it is this one point.
It sounds like they were all from one point up ahead. And since you've been up there and kind of you heard the growls, you were a little closer, it makes sense that you're not the prey.
Oh, it doesn't feel like it's us. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's not obvious, I would like to point that out to everyone that it doesn't seem like we're being hunted. But we should be careful in checking it out.
Well, on the ocean that was just recently frozen over, what the hell are wolves doing out there already? What are they after?
It's a good question.
Checkers will say, more than likely this is the result of the witch. And he will unsheath his sword and continue forward going closer to the sounds of the wolves. I smell evil. I can taste it.
Oh god.
I would
Fox
just.
is going to look to Checkers, sort of just like, huh? Like, a little dumbfounded, but he's going to go stealth mode and then try and follow Checkers a good distance behind him, sort of using Checkers as bait, I guess.
Cool. Oh, and Fox, do you use the fog as part of your stealth?
Yeah, I'm using the fog around me to, like, stealth through.
Cool. And I'm going to riff for you. So, Shade Fighter, you see the fox tentative, not running this time, but almost like trying to scamper as quickly as he can, and you see him like dart right into the fog, and maybe even overhear him say, "What does evil taste like?" I'm very curious.
Musty.
And poof,
And
he's
he's
gone.
deadly serious.
The fox is gone. Like, you can't see him for shit. He's in the fog. Checkers, you're walking towards the wolf noise. Shade and Fox, what do you want to do? Or sorry, Shade and Fighter.
We just had one of our companions run off into the fog after wolves for no really good reason. I imagine Shade is looking a bit dumbfounded and just looking back at the others, just like, what is happening right now?
Again, Fighter just, makes eye contact with Shade, dead-eyed, and just carries on carefully behind Checkers, trying to keep an eye out for, oh shit, I've got to look out for an idiot, wolves, and a fucking ninja.
I dear God hope Checkers doesn't get killed in this small fucking module.
Oh.
I really hope he doesn't.
Oh, there's another side of that coin.
Please God,
Oh, it's
man.
definitely
He's
possible.
too much fun. Please God.
Yeah, and Fighter gives that look to Shade that the look says, it's the look you give when you're like, oh yeah, we're the adults here. Shh.
Look of a tired dad.
Yeah. Cool. But do you guys head towards the sound behind Checkers?
Yep.
Yes.
So.
Cool. So you guys boogie up. As you, I'm assuming even Checkers would slow down once, like no sound for a while. You hear like a little bit of a clip clop, and then you hear like that low growl, right? Like, like as a wolf or a dog or anything, even a cat might do. Cats would not sound like very menacing, probably. But it's close, and you're like, ooh, and you can kind of see some shapes moving in the fog. That's what you guys are looking at. What do you want to do?
How many shapes? Like, are they all around us? Can we tell?
It looks like they're all forward of you. And you do see in the moonlight as you guys are kind of all like, now you're all like blink, 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 looking as intently as you can. You see a huge set of antlers pop out of the fog. And when that happens, and then you hear a clip clop, and then you hear more wolf growls. And it's definitely, there's definitely more than one. It sounds like at least a few, right? Wolves. But now you can, Shade, for sure you would recognize the antlers as being an elk.
Oh,
Anything
okay.
special about it, or just an elk? Sorry.
Just an elk, seems like.
Well, I mean, elk are absolutely gigantic, so that's probably pretty intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Does the elk look?
Is the elk bugling?
What's that, Fox?
The elk what?
We're hearing the beautiful, majestic bugles of the elf.
Totally.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure you are. And it sounds, You do hear the bugles, and it sounds... probably only Shade would know this. She would know these animal sounds probably better. I don't know that anyone else has more animal experience than her. It sounds hurt.
Okay. Protect the precious cinnamon roll at all costs. Got it.
Delicious.
Can we see any of the shapes getting closer? I guess Shade would prepare her slingshot at the very least.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys are seeing like you see the elk kind of like bouncing around just gingerly a little bit, and then like shadows and the like whiffs of fog trailing what looks like a number of wolves. But yeah, because this fog is so thick right here, it's really hard to see.
Okay. The elk has come into the area where we are. Is it moving past us? Is it just coming up to us? Is it trying to get around us?
I'm not sure it's aware you're there. I would say you guys are probably like 50, 60 feet from it. You can see the antlers now clearly because it's just towering above the fog that is still low. Like the fog's probably 4-ish feet and the antlers are higher than that.
Okay. Well, what are the rest of you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Can we see Fox yet, or is he still just on with the fog?
He's still in the fog. Fox, what are you doing specifically? Are you slowly sneaking up into this scene inside the fog?
I think I want to be close enough that I can keep like an eye on Checkers because I think he's going to do something stupid. But I'm also staying deep enough into the fog that if something happens to Checkers, they're not going to notice me.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Also, your mic is a little low. If you can get a little closer to that mic when you're talking, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, I can try.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sorry.
That's way better. No worries. I'm gonna say like, it sounds like to me, you occasionally like, you're sneaking over. You pop your head out of the fog. You don't, and you see the others. With their back to you, you pop your head back in. Are you trying to sneak up on whatever this is, or what are you trying to do?
I think I'm just trying to keep an eye out for now.
Mm-hmm.
Not make any rash.
So you're not trying to get too close, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're seeing the same thing, like if you pop your head above the fog, you see the antlers. You're probably the closest to the whatever this is, and the others are outside of the fog, further away, just slightly though. Let's take a quick break here. We've been on for a minute, and when we come back, we will figure out what's going on in the fog.
Right.
All right.
That's
Cool.
good. You guys with you?
Yep.
See.
Most of the party, the fox is in thick fog, hiding stealthily. The rest of you guys are out of the fog in the virtual path that has been cut by some crazy ghostly witch lady. You notice elk horns, and you hear the grumbles of what you presume are wolves, plural. What do you want to do?
I mean, like I said, Shade has her slingshot ready to go. Probably trying to get a little closer to the elk.
Mm-hmm. I don't suppose
Has the elk
Shade
react?
knows- What's that?
Now, has the elk reacted at all to us, or does it even notice us?
No, I think the elk is probably busy, you would get that idea. I was going to ask Shade, I don't suppose you have an elk call or something? Or some sort of animal call that would be helpful in this moment?
I mean, not in my inventory. Can I try? Can I attempt to make an elk call?
Yeah, I mean, as a survivalist, I would think that might be part of your ilk is calling animals so you can forage and hunt. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, yeah, I'll go for expert survivalist is an extra d6 or an extra 2d6.
Extra 2d6, so 3d6 total. Let's roll because this might have implications.
Watch, okay, 5.
Yeah. No, you got it.
Good.
Yeah. So are you making an elk noise, or what is your intention with this?
No, yeah, my intention is to kind of make a the kind of call that you might hear from a member of the herd calling out to the rest of the herd. I have no idea what elk sound like other than their kind of bellowing. So
yeah,
but Shade's got her. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Shade's got her like hands cuffed around her mouth, and she's calling out, and it probably sounds ridiculous.
Like or something crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think in this scenario, either your call was good enough, or possibly even spot on, and or that the elk is that these animals are no longer alone out on the ice. Either way, you can see the elk kind of bolts into view, into the cut path that, for lack of a better word, between the fog, let's say outside of the fog, and you see a number of wolves scampering and surrounding it, and and growling, and trying to basically contain it.
Okay.
And now you guys, and they're very close to you, and the wolves closest to you kind of enlarge the circle, and maybe even you see a couple of them dart, use some of the back into the fog, use the fog as to aid them, because they're not sure what the hell you guys are. Now there's more threats. They thought they were the only threat.
Checkers will look at Shade and say, and he'll look over and say, "Are you a deity of nature? Are you a god of nature? How'd you do that?" And it's not helping, it looks like.
Yes, I am a deity of nature, and I command you to protect this elk right here. Go ahead, do it.
Wait, how many wolves are there?
You can see 6.
Checkers will look at Shade, and then he'll look at the elk, and then he'll say, "Well, I am one to fight for justice. I think tampering in the ways of nature is not my calling. Plus, there's 6 versus 1. I might be strong, but I'm not stupid. As Fighter would agree. And Fox, wherever he went."
Yes, I think everybody here can agree you are a genius as well as being good and strong. Now, fight some wolves, okay?
Checkers will just stand in front of the elk, and I can't use a shield because I'm in the middle of the dark, so no shield for me. He will raise his short sword, raise a torch, and he will just ready himself if any of the dogs or wolves get close.
Mm-hmm. Also, Shade, it's immediately obvious to you that this elk has a broken leg.
Oh, well, we're going to have to put it down.
Oh! Do I see that it has a broken leg or no?
Oh yeah, for sure.
In fact,
I mean,
you know
she
what?
would know immediately without, like, there's no need to roll on any of this. But yeah, if you
Okay.
have any idea of, it's pretty easy to tell when an animal is favoring a leg, right? And you can see probably blood coming from it, even in the dark.
Checkers, when he makes that note, he'll actually look at the elk with a look of sympathy, and then he'll look at Shade and says, Shade, as is part of my duty, I am to protect the weak and the ill-willed. As such, if you could defend me while I heal this elk, I think that might be in our best interest. It is the right thing to do.
Shade kind of flexes her hands and her claws come out. She says, "It would be my pleasure." Of course, then she just has like a slingshot. So it's not as impressive, but she's ready.
All right.
What is everybody else doing?
Mm-hmm.
Fighter.
Ready to maul.
I'm kind of indifferent to it. I'm very much of that, oh no, there goes some nature.
Mm-hmm.
So it's come back to me. Having some inner torment.
Checkers will say, this might be the work of the witch. So we should probably do this. Makes sense.
As
Yeah,
far as Checkers
makes
goes, Checkers, you are a healer, but you do not
Yes.
have the spell heal.
Oh no.
You do not have
Fuck.
spells.
I totally forgot about that part. Oof.
So you're helpful to the group. I'm not sure you're helpful to the elk. Unless you think you are, and then that's a whole different thing.
Oh, he just thinks he can do it.
I think I can heal. Like I said earlier, he's not good with magic. He blew up people. Let's just say he was sent on a pilgrimage to help. Definitely not because he blew people up while using magic by accident. Anyhow, he will certainly try to heal this elk to the best of his ability.
I think it's totally within your character to think that you can heal something when in fact you are able to heal. So you'll be a great boon to this party when they rest. But until you have spells, you're not doing any magic healing, but you would have a bandage or something maybe. You tell me how Checkers would. Does Checkers go around trying to heal people in a way like a faith healer would, that it's complete bullshit, but like
yes,
but he believes, then we're good. Then I'm with you.
Yeah. Like, you know how he'll like say open, not, sometimes like a magician in comedy will say open sesame and things just like work all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
In his mind, he'll just close his eyes and he'll hold his hands out and just say heal, and it just something that might actually work.
Right, and I love it.
It doesn't ever work that way.
Because ironically, it does actually work. You are a healer. You're a legit healer in certain circumstances. This is just not one of them.
So yeah,
great.
Checkers will absolutely like close his eyes and then like just say heal to the elk's legs confidently and very loud and obnoxiously.
Mm-hmm. And you just walk into the because you're basically walking right into an elk surrounded by 6 wolves. So you're just gonna walk.
Oh God. Actually, wait a minute. That sounds kind of bad idea. You know what? Yeah, you know what Checkers actually will do? He will. He considers that plan, then he realizes it's 6 against 1. So he's probably actually going to try to scare the. He's going to try to scare the wolves off.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my? I have strong, tough, fighter. Those are the only ones that would make sense, but I'm not sure which one I could use to scare them away.
I mean, in this case, you have other resources and a torch.
And a torch, yeah.
And other people.
Yeah. So, I'll actually get Shade on this one and Fighter, and he will say, if we can scare the wolves away, we might be able to get ourselves a high advantage.
Okay, well, what would scare wolves away normally? Assuming that these are normal wolves, I would think just coming across a group of humans would be enough of that. Beyond that, fire, loud noises. I mean, other than that, we can just hit it with stuff until they go away.
I like the idea of making loud noises in unison. We could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Can we tell which of them is the alpha? Is that obvious, or...?
Let's see. I think it would be, yes. I think there is one that is the most menacing, and might... I think you will find out which one it is when you enact this plan. Let's say that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is there one that's the biggest?
There's probably one that does seem the biggest. Yes.
I guess that would work. Yes. I'm hoping that if we aim for that one, I will be happily sort of sharing this info with Shade. Everyone else can just witness. If we aim for the alpha and either deter it or, God forbid, kill it, the others will either run with it or run away from any assailant strong enough to take it down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sounds like a plan to me.
Yes. So we have 2 torches. We have 4 people that can make loud noises. Is the idea to have Shade use her slingshot to ping the big one, regardless? And or what is Fox doing? What's Fox's part in this plan?
He can't hear it, can he?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Fox, are you close enough to hear that? You tell me.
Uh-oh.
We've lost the Fox.
He's literally too far away.
Yeah, sounds like he's too far away. So you guys don't know where he is.
Well, great. This is why you never take a ninja on these missions. You disappear when it's time for action. All right. I don't know. We don't normally do initiative or anything like that, but are the wolves closing in at all? Are they getting tighter around us?
I think they're now in like more of a U formation, right? Like because you guys are, they don't have enough to surround all of you either, and they're just kind of backing off. But they are intent on a meal, so they're sticking close to the elk and trying to keep it from running, let's say, away from them towards the tower. But you guys are, so that's the formation, right? Like you guys are between the elk and land. The wolves are now between the elk and the tower. Let's say that.
Okay.
So my worry is if we just ping one of them with a slingshot or catapult, whichever you've got, that's going to annoy it.
Yeah, that'll make them hostile. I think trying to scare them away is a lot better of an option than like hitting one of them.
Now, this is a bit of a far-reaching thought. Do we have anything flammable?
Yes. The arsonist crew. This you have hilariously you've asked me this now. This is the 3rd time.
I know, I was messing.
And the first time you had a lantern, but you have already used that lantern to burn down as far as you know, a tavern.
It fell.
I mean, it slipped out of your hand right into the plumber's kraken. Yep.
Just dropped it in there.
Dropped the lantern in the plumber's kraken. Yeah. I mean, nobody wanted to go in and get that lantern out of the plumber's kraken, I promise you.
Nope.
Never gonna not use that name again.
It's great. It's fabulous. But yeah.
So I'm really indifferent. So fighter rather is really indifferent to what's going on. So he's not going to be. I don't feel he'd be stretching for an idea. He's more on the sort of whatever you two aim to do.
Let me ask you this though, fighter: is the fighter thinking like the obvious solution to this is to chop the elk's head off?
I mean, certainly a solution.
Mm-hmm. Is he thinking that at all? You hinted at it, but I want to drag that out of you if that's actually a thing that you're thinking.
I think it was Checkers, wasn't it? It was just no, I don't remember. In my eyes, it's just animal eat animal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Why do we care?
Yes, and would you voice that opinion, or would you act upon that opinion?
Oh yeah, I not say that. I thought I might have actually mentioned that in conversation to them, but I may have been wrong.
I don't think it was clear that you were specifically saying that, but yeah.
Sorry, that's my fault. Yeah, I would have whichever you want to go for, sort of voicing it's things eat things all the time. Why do we care? Big tower.
Yeah, and how does that go over with Checkers and Shade? And if the fox is back, the fox, if he's listening.
Yeah, I think Shade has completely irrationally tied herself to the fate of this elk, so she just shoots Fighter a dirty look and advances on the wolves a bit.
Checkers has already decided in his head this is the work of the witch and evil, so he's already decided to defend the elk.
Okay.
Because this is too bizarre. Like, why would there be all these wolves in the middle of an open sea, or frozen sea, surrounding an elk? This elk must be like, I don't know, a goddess or something. He's literally already said, yeah, pretty much. He's pretty much already rationalized saying we need to defend this elk with all needs necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Checkers having decided that he's going to try to scare them away, he's going to, I'm like right next to Shade actually. He's going to, Shade, you have a light source out, right?
Me personally, I don't think Shade does.
Shade does not.
I think Fighter.
It just me and you.
Okay. Checkers will hand you his torch. You say, hold that for me, miss. And he will equip his shield in his left hand, and he's going to clear his throat. And he is going to start banging on the shield and yelling like a banshee to scare the wolves away. We're moving this forward, baby.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Can I use strong? Would that
strong
work?
For what purpose?
To scare the wolves away. Like maybe I'm not sure if strong or tough. Fighter, maybe?
I mean, if you're just like making loud noise, I don't think you even have to roll for that. Like, I think. Let me see. Yeah, so you're banging. You're using your. You have a sword. I take it.
Short sword.
Short sword. You're banging your short sword on your shield, right? And like, making noise to scare them away. Cool. How are you targeting just the wolves and not the elk?
I think he'll actually like give a reassuring like look. If the elk is okay, he'll actually before like I'll maybe if I could do this retroactively, he'll like retroactively like pet the elk to indicate that like he means no harm, right? Before turning towards the wolves, because I feel like an animal is smart enough to know that if there are people trying to defend its life, it's probably smart enough to realize that it's not the yelling isn't targeted at him, at the elk, if like it's facing away from them and it's towards the wolf, but also the elk could be dumb.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I would suggest you're rolling in there. Maybe you try to reach out your hand, but you have a sword in one hand and a shield in the other.
Probably not.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's probably not going to work. But like you're basically almost backing into him and like giving him protection to go towards the group.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Cool. And you don't need to roll after that. So you can go in there and bang. Like the wolves are definitely, like backing up a little and really growling at you now. And banging. And as you're doing this, it's kind of a weird, unnatural force. But something like pulls your legs forward and you fall onto your back with your shield and your sword, and like two of the wolves like nip at your boots, assuming you're wearing boots. But you are prone.
It's like, hey, my boots! Get off! Ah, my boots!
Yeah, so you're like kicking them off and doing your sword, and you, Shade and Fighter, you guys, it's as if like like he had just purposefully fallen on his, like jumped up and fallen on his back. That's what you saw.
Oh, what?
Checkers will say. Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, Brian.
No, go
okay.
ahead.
Checkers will say as he falls, he will say, "This must be the work of evil. I do not know how I fell. Did I slip? I don't think I did. And get these walls off me."
Fighter will, though he despises him, will sort of do his best to try and slide or move in front of him and just defend him from the wolves. Whatever it takes, like hit them away, wave the fire.
Yeah, so like
just while he composes himself.
You like basically as carefully and quickly as you can make your way over to him, kind of step over him, and are like swinging a sword and fire at the wolves, like sword in one hand, fire in the other. Yeah, cool. And as you're doing that, a weird, unnatural breeze comes seemingly from nowhere, because there's zero breeze, and blows out your and Shade's torch.
Now, I have a quick question there. You say seemingly from nowhere. As it blows out the fire, and we see what direction the fire goes out in. Obviously, if you blow it, it's going to bend away from it. Yeah,
actually, it seems like almost like a mini tornado kind of thing. Like it's a spinning circle. It actually blows the fog out too. So you can now, all the wolves are in clear sight. If Fox was here, it might even blow him into sight, but we don't know where he is. So it was more of a spinny, like an immediate, like unnatural. Yeah. Like what was that kind of thing? And now you guys are now it's dark again.
How dark is dark? I mean, I don't want to be that jerk, but I would assume that a cat person would have decent sight in the dark, as long as it's not pitch black.
You are fine. I'm going to say you have dark vision for sure. I think it's more like it takes your eyes very little to adjust. I don't even know if we've never even discussed if the fighter and Checkers are human, but let's say maybe. And their eyes take a few more seconds to adjust from holding a light source to not having a light source, and you're like your eyes are going to take a few seconds to adjust.
Again, I don't know. We don't really do initiative, but Shade, at the very least, will try to fend off the wolves from Checkers.
How so? Like, are you guys all like converging onto Checkers?
Shade certainly would go up and try to protect him. I don't know about anyone else.
Mm-hmm. How are you protecting him? What are you doing?
I'm just going to start shooting wolves with my slingshot.
Yeah, cool. There's definitely two nipping at the. You can see them still. They're probably like just flailing around, just because they're just in those seconds that it's taking their eyes to adjust. Roll me some slingshot. Jay, this will be fun.
A slingshot is just 1d6 to hit, and then 1d6 or 1d4 for damage.
1d6, yeah, 1d6 for both. Oh, nice. Yeah, you bop him right in the head. You nail one, and he goes burp. And that. Oh, you're doing it twice. Cool.
That what?
You're shooting twice, or that's damage. Sorry.
That's damage.
Right.
Yeah, that's damage.
Yeah, cool. Biff. Hold on. I don't have my. See, that's the best part of when you in 5e when you say roll initiative. It gives the GM time to prepare the wolves. Cool. That wolf you hit is just goes down like in flump. You hear that, but with that, the other wolves all howl, and it scares the shit out of the elk, and the elk, wounded as it is, tries to hobble and clomp its way towards land. And now, with that weird thing, you see that now you guys are in the circle of the wolves, but only 5 of them now.
Are the 1 or 2 still sort of attacking at B/Checkers?
Yeah, so there now you guys the circle is now 5, and it's just kind of in. You guys are at the center of it because you guys kind of clumped up, right? Like you were standing over or basically at the feet of Checkers. Checkers is still prone, and Yulia came in and like is probably near. Her boots are probably close to his head, but you guys kind of clumped up in your thing. We don't know where the fox is, which I think is hilarious.
It's literally
and
just disappeared.
Apropos, and apropos, he is being very. This is very within his character, I think. But now you guys are surrounded by 5 wolves.
Checkers will first get up to being prone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to try to strike at one of the closest ones to him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the fight is on. Do it. Roll me some. You are a fighter. What do you got?
I am a fighter. I am strong, and I am tough.
Cool. 2d6.
D6 time to kick 2d6 pairs of.
And you're using the short sword, I imagine.
Yep, short sword.
5. Nice. You roll me some damage. What's your short sword?
I want to do
damage.
I think it's like just a 1d6 from the PHB, from what the gear says. It's a light weapon, so
yeah,
it's just a d6.
Cool. Roll it.
Not sure if that adds anything with strong or anything, but anyway.
Nope. No, not in this.
Okay.
Strong does a lot of other things, but it's not used in fighting, really. Unless you could find a way to use it in fighting. I could certainly see a circumstance where that could be true.
In this circumstance, probably not.
3. Cool. Yeah, you like you rip into the one closest to you's front leg, and basically almost sever it. And it yelps like a mofo and kind of like backs up way, like gimpily away from you.
Checkers will say.
Oh, sorry.
He will say, "I was being nice. Next time, I won't be so nice."
Fighter,
as that one moves away, can I just sort of swing at it?
Yeah, totally.
I get that killing blow.
Yep.
1d6?
Yep. Well, you're a fighter, right? So 2d6.
Ooh.
Melee is your thing.
Oh, dang.
Oh, yeah.
It
Nice.
is.
Another 5. You guys are rolling good. Roll me some damage. What kind of sword you got? What's your damage on that?
I'm not sure. Just whatever, like a basic broadsword.
Let's see. I just heard my rules up. I think it's +1 damage. Where the hell are you? I really should remember this better. Yeah, so like probably a martial weapon, D6 +1.
Smashing.
I imagine it's fairly long sword, right? Like it's a regular size, like a normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I just type +1 or do we just add it on after?
Just type +1.
That's equals.
1d6 +1.
See how that goes.
Well, you got 2, and that does.
That +1.
You definitely. Yeah. You just like lunge at it as it's trying to get away, and you catch it right in the neck, and it falls to the ground. And now we have 4 left, and now the. Did we go for the big one? Probably not. And now the big one is definitely most menacing and is blocking the path back to. It's in between you and the shore, the land.
The puffed out torch in my hand, which I've not dropped yet.
Yeah.
Can I just launch that at it?
For sure.
Either annoy it or pull its attention.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to roll for a throw?
Yeah, D6. I don't,
Cool.
because you don't have like sharpshooter or anything like that, right? Like you're just.
Oh.
Yep.
It's 1d6. Cool.
Anyone can throw a torch. 2.
Except me.
And it bangs and bangs, and it takes a few steps towards you as you completely miss it, and it's growling menacingly. Shade, what you doing?
Taking another shot at the big one that's advancing. Ah!
Oh, no.
And that one, yes, you do your normal thing, and it leaves your sling, feels really good, like you're like gonna nail this mother, and like right at the last second, something just like it kind of knocks it off course. You can see it, like the trajectory. You're like, that was weird. Bip, and something is, and you are feeling like you're cursed because like falling, wind blowing, and something dinking your stone out of trajectory. It's weird. That leaves Fox. You're still not back, right?
Yeah, where did he go? I think he like must have disconnected or something.
Yeah, he probably had.
He might have fallen
Icon's still there, which is
It
odd.
happens. Yeah, he's still on, and his mic is working. Well, he's not muted. It's okay. Fox, if you can hear us, just reboot, man. Cool. Checkers. The handsome. The himbo.
The handsome, the bold, the amazing. Checkers is going to heroically, maybe stupidly, rush towards the boss, and he's going to try to strike it in his face.
Cool.
With
So
short sword.
you've got
Shield drawn.
got sword. You're running at him.
Not okay. Maybe running is not the right word, especially for standing on ice. So maybe not running, but let me retract that statement. but he will definitely approach it and try to strike at it or slash at it.
Moving cautiously and quickly towards the wolf. With how big is your shield? Is it like one of those full body guys, or is it like small round?
I'm gonna say because he's the kind of guy who definitely bigger means better, so he definitely got the bigger shield. Yeah, it's like one of those kite shields.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Right.
it has
That's
like
cool.
yeah, it has like an emblem of your god.
Yes,
It
it strangely looks
bowl
like an
of
ice cream cone. It looks like an ice cream cone, but we're not gonna see cone.
Yep, it's the holy milkshake or holy
Holy scoop.
cool. Yep, the holy
Holy
scoop.
scoop.
Nice. Canon. Cool. Let's roll that.
right,
While
let's
he's
do this.
rolling, can I just say that I'll obviously do it after, but fighter's going to take the opportunity to try and follow behind him and attack immediately after.
Oh,
It's
cool.
like a sort of, a follow-up. I'll let him do his thing now.
And if he hadn't rolled well, we could have even said you guys are attacking in tandem if you wanted. But he rolled well. Roll me some damage. Let's see how this goes.
Bada bing, bada. Oh, that's kind of disappointing.
Oh,
I mean, the bada bing was good. The boom with a 2, less good. So yeah, you go in at this thing, it like probably it jumps at you. You catch it from the back, but it's gonna. Oh yeah. Woo. You catch it in like the side, like in its ribs, for 2 damage. But it jumps, lurches at you in that same ilk. This is why you got him in the side instead of in like the head or whatever. And he completely knocks you prone back. And I'm gonna say also, since the fighter was in step with you, fighter, you give me a strength check. Are you strong, or if not, just D6? Or do you have something that would help you in this to remain standing?
well, you said it. My thing was I wanted to try and kind of slide at it, as I like on my side or on my knees, and try and go up under in the throat again. So
Yeah, okay.
Does
But
that
were you
benefit me
not
in any
right
way?
behind him? You tell me.
I did say following him, but I was kind of going. Yeah, I would have been behind him, but kind of off to one side, trying to go round. Makes sense. Like
Yeah,
hit
that's
it
cool.
from the side.
What are your skills? You have. I thought you had. I mean, obviously, fighter. I think you left
But
one
I'm deadly,
open.
tough, and fighter.
Oh, you have deadly? Then you should be getting extra.
Oh, really?
Damage. Yeah, when you. That's. I think it's +2.
Oh shit!
Yeah. What's the third thing?
Shit, I forgot already. Was it tough? Yeah, tough.
Tough makes
Deadly,
sense.
tough,
That's
and
cool.
fighter.
So you have 4 extra hit points. And you never picked a 4th. Do you want to pick a 4th?
Yeah, I can't think of anything right off the top of my head though.
That's okay.
I'll get
then-
one sorted for next time.
Yeah. So roll me d6. We'll see if you stay prone or stay standing.
Okay, just one. Mm-hmm. Here it comes.
You do not. You you fall. So yeah, check. This is like I was. It's more. It's not. I was trying to make a joke. I was going to say it's less like checkers and more like dominoes. Oh, get it?
I would have chuckled.
Yeah. Burn. Yeah, it was just. So the two of you in clown fashion fall like dominoes. Checkers is now on top of you, and let's see. Oh yeah. Nope. The wolf lunges at you with a bite, Checkers, because you're on top, and you use your shield to fend him off. He misses. Shade, or should I say Sade? I still want that.
Sade.
Sade.
No.
Sounds like a perfume.
I'm pretty sure Sade, the musician, is spelled Sade with X.
There's a musician
Somewhere.
I didn't know there was.
There's a musician called Sade. Okay, so what's the situation right now? Who's prone? Who has a wolf on top of them?
Yeah,
I have an idiot on me.
Yeah, Fighter has an idiot on him, and the idiot has a wolf with two paws on his and is snapping at his shield.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go for the one that's snapping at the idiot, and hopefully I can actually hit the wolf instead of the idiot. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm. And you do.
4.
Yeah. Let's damage me. Oh
5.
man, you hit. You're just like cranking on this thing. You hit this thing like right square in the eyes, and just drop him, and he falls on top of Checkers, and now there's like a wolf Checkers fighter sandwich. It's delicious.
All right. Yeah. No. Shade blows away the non-existent smoke from her slingshot.
Cool. And with that, the other 3 remaining wolves scatter, running towards the elk that has been slowly trying to make it to land, and they run that way, away from you guys.
That's right. You better run.
I will very purposefully just throw Checkers off me. Just don't even ask if he's okay. Just get off.
Yep.
Checkers will eloquently stand and brush himself off and say, I think we'll get along just well, this group. Fighters of evil, I like this. Also, that was a great display of sharpshootery. That's not a word, by the way, but he's making it up.
It is.
Sharpshootery.
It is.
Canon, sharpshootery is now a word.
Sharpshootery.
Sharpshootery sounds like a shootery board.
Can I, first of all, just blatantly ignore him?
Good choice.
I want to check or inspect the big-ass wolf. Because I'm assuming that I'm aware that the whole fire out thing, and I don't know if I spotted the other 2 instances quite as well, that wasn't normal. I want to see if there's something on it or about it that's unusual. Also, I'd like to loot its corpse.
So you want to...
How much money does wolf have?
Yeah. So you're curious if the wolf has some sort of magical properties?
Yeah, if maybe it's got like a mark on it, a talisman, a pendant, someone's put on it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, cool.
Also, I'm fully aware it's got a lovely belt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look over at Checkers, and there's blood all over his shield, so it's like a bloody ice cream cone. And you inspect the wolf. In fact, if you want to take the time, we can just say you guys all inspect all the dead wolves, and you find nothing necessarily. There's no marks or anything unnatural. It looks like normal wolves. While you're doing this, you hear the obvious death cry of an elk in the distance. And yeah, Checkers, you have blood on your ice cream cone.
Ice cream cone. His cone
or scoop.
His cone
Sorry,
shield.
Scoop. Yeah, on your scoop.
He called it scoop.
Your scoop is defiled with wolf blood.
Strawberry jam.
Yeah, Fighter, if you would like to start de-pelting, you're more than welcome to do so.
All right. Do you need anything from me for that, or do I just have a pelt?
Oh, I mean, it's going to take you guys time. How long does it take to skin a wolf? And how many wolves do you want the skin from?
Funnily enough, I've never done it.
What?
I would say it takes some time.
Yeah, in that I'll be sort of catching my breath, making sure nothing's broken, damaged on me and everyone.
And I would probably also suggest, if and when you write your phrase for background, maybe, especially if maybe hunting was in your past and that that was part of your fighting thing or something along those lines. But yeah, I would say a fighter of your ilk would definitely have some hunting skills. Shade probably would as well, and might be standing over you, teaching you how to do it. I don't know.
Oh, just telling me I'm doing it wrong.
She does seem like she's that kind of person. Like, no, if you cut by the hooves and rip hard, it'll come off easier.
No, I'm even... Shade is even worse than that. Like, a terrible person will stand over you and constantly correct every little thing that you're doing. An even worse person will stand over you and will just tisk and cluck and just... I won't say anything useful, but they'll just make their displeasure known. That's what Shade's doing.
Is she not helping me like the film Ghost? Just arms around me holding the knife.
It's possible.
Yeah, so I'm just doing that.
Cool. Checkers, are you? Do you look at your bloody shield as like a battle? Like proof of battle, something like that. Christened in the blood of your enemies.
That's more like a barbarian would do. He would actually be like kind of disappointed. He'll say, "It's a shame these wolves decided to fight." It gave him a warning, but he will actually proceed to clean his shield before attending to the elk.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. Since we're basically at time and the fox is MIA, maybe we call it here tonight?
Yeah.
I'm
Sucks
here.
that he just disappeared.
Oh, he's back
wait,
now.
you're here, dude.
He's back.
I've been here.
Where'd you go?
What have you been doing?
We were running. Where you went?
Sorry, I've just been listening.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh!
100%.
I called to you a few times. Yeah, we kept calling to you.
Oh my god.
Okay, but
I was like,
you were
did he like disappear or something?
very, very impressive, immersion into your character.
Yeah, that's...
That's what you're calling it?
What can I say? I'm a method actor.
Alright, that's a good answer. I'll give credit with that, too.
That's cool.